GT3 and Forza Motorsport is usually a combination of an ice rink mixed with pure crashing chaos. Starting off the race in position 9 and approaching the first corner, being on the outside is not usually an ideal place to be, and we'll get to see why right now, as everybody just literally bundles their way into the corner and survival of the fittest usually takes over, us being pretty much demoted several places thanks to being pushed out of line with everybody else. And I think we might lose one place to the car to our left as we approach turn 2. We absolutely sent it in and destroyed the car on the outside of the track there. Coming up towards turn 3, we have gained said position back, but to get into turn, the wall becomes quite useful, and then we get bundled into the wall and all momentum is lost. Thankfully, I don't think we are actually last. No, position 21, there's a couple cars left behind us, and I think we're going to gain another place to the Porsche, thinking the wall is really pretty. Coming out the other side of here now, a little bit squirrely, and we may find a few more victims as everybody discovers sand. Well, one victim, but they discovered a wall. Getting a little bit squirrely on the brakes there. Thankfully the tyre wall straightened us out, and through this, I would say, rather narrow section we go. More like Skittles and the ping pong as we come down here. I'm not even going to comment on what happened there, but we have gained 2 places. Only downside is whoever is closest behind is going to have the slipstream, thus they are going to be able to make a move as we get to the bottom of this hill. Maybe I should have defended better, but I've got to be honest, I don't feel like getting punted anymore, so I'm just going to let them have the inside line and hopefully recover our losses later on. Breaking a tad late, sending the Aston Martin into the grass. Thankfully the steward said, "You're not at fault for that, that is total normal behaviour in GT3 races." So yeah, I can't really argue with that. Does definitely seem to be the case. Coming up for the start of lap 2 though, we have gained a little bit. We're going to gain a lot more in a second as this Aston Martin rejoins the track. I wonder if they're going to have a bit of apex syndrome. No. The tiniest bit of contact, but we have managed to get out the other side in one piece, claiming up to position 17. Trying to get into the toe of TSB up in front, just not going to happen. Wonder if we can make turn 2 without any contact. Oh, there's a position gained there as a ghostly car was parked in the track. Not too sure what is going on here. I generally overtook that McLaren and suddenly I didn't. Never had that before. That was weird. I'm not going to grumble, I overtook the McLaren twice in one sitting. I think we had a bit of netcode or rendering. I have no idea what that was all about. Rubber banding. That's the word got rubber banded back in time. But I guess the game wanted to prove a point that I could overtake the same car twice within 5 seconds. Yeah, can't really grumble. Nobody was actually harmed in the making of said rubber banding, which is fortunate as well as unusual. Usually there's a victim somewhere along the line. Coming down the hill, we are 1 second away from another cane up in front. I wonder if this Aston Martin has enough go in it to jump in the slipstream and we can start getting dragged along as we're coming down this hill now. And I don't think it's going to be the case. Maybe a tiny bit, but not enough to actually make it worthwhile. Braking just before the 150 board, down to second gear, and over the curves we go. Now, they have a lovely Ford Mustang. Today we've gone for the Aston Martin. I thought, you know what, I haven't driven this car in a long time. My usual go-to is the Ford Mustang. Why not bring the trusty Aston Martin out of the garage and see what it can do? To be fair, it's quite a machine. Powerful in a straight line, great in the handling department. Again, it could be a little bit more stable, as you can see here, but I think it's where you balance the agility of a tune with controllability as well, and there is a very fine line. So if you want your car to be pointy and fast, then you've got to have the oversteer characteristics of the car. If you want the car to be stable, it's going to be slower in the corners and slow coming out of the corners. So yeah, it is what it is. I am curious though to what compounds people have chosen for on their tyres. Bathurst is pretty gentle on tyres, so I've gone for the medium one stop. We're going to go medium stop mediums, and I wonder if other people's gone on hards or if they're going to run a soft to hard compound. These two cars up in front do seem to be a little bit on edge, and I don't think they'll be battling much longer. Oh, there we go. We found the answer out already. They've both gone out together to the beach to build some gravel castles, which, you know, is kind of nice. Send us a photo of what you have created. Coming down the mountain, GMS has caught up to us somewhat, and we need to do our best to try and catch up to the car in front and try and leave GMS behind. Now we have a bit of open free air. And talking about open free air, there we go. We have managed to catch up to BMW, overtake that car, and hopefully they will end up blocking GMS behind, giving us a little bit of free space. But I don't think that's going to be the case, as GMS has got one incredible run on their hands. Again, braking a tad late for this corner, I would say. And through the section we go, a little bit squirrely. Contact from GMS behind sends us straight into the wall. It happens. Been in worse situations. Thankfully there was a tyre wall there to stop us flying off to oblivion. So let's pick ourselves up and try again. Try and recuperate some places. Well, we've only lost 2 in general. So, you know, it could have been, like I say, a lot worse. Just need to try and catch up and recuperate the places we have just lost. I mean, Hasbro is only 1.8 seconds ahead, rocking a 1 second penalty. By the time we come back around to the same position on the next lap, Hasbro has overtaken Jacob, and now it's our turn to overtake Jacob. As coming up to turn 2, braking down to 3rd gear, getting very close to Jacob there. Thankfully, a little bit of door mirror contact. Out to the side we go. Hasbro now only 1.4 seconds ahead, whilst also battling with another car. Was battling with another car. We are out the other side of that, and only 1.9 seconds away from Mublin Hobo up in front, who's in position 9. So we're in position 10. We're on the top 10 of the leaderboard, so I'm pretty happy with that, considering the antics we've had up to now. Just need to bear in mind though, we're going to have to do up to lap 7, including lap 7, to make these tyres viable to go onto another set of mediums for the latter half of the race. So let's hope and fingers crossed that that is possible. I mean, we're only 1.5 seconds, 1.4, no, back to 1.5, away from position 9. Might be able to catch him on the run here. Obviously, everybody has a different tune, different levels of downforce. We might be able to benefit here. We don't have much downforce in the rear of this car. Maybe speed is king here. Doesn't seem to be. We only found a 10th. Braking just for the 150 board down to 2nd gear. Use as much of the track as we can. And actually changing gear early to reduce the wheel spin as the camber of the road banks over. Position 9 enters the pit. Our tyres are about to enter minor wear on the rear, so we have to be mindful of that as we finish off lap 7. Go into the pits, come out the other side, and we are in position 11. 6 seconds away from the Blue Ranger 99 behind, but not too far away from Jacob up in front, who is 1.1 seconds ahead. We are going to be in 1 lap better off tyres than... Oh, Jacob hasn't pitted. Oh, that's my mistake, I didn't realise. Jacob's more than likely on hard tyres then. Interesting. Okay. The problem we have now, us being on a nice set of medium tyres, is we're getting held up by Jacob on the hard tyres. It's really not an ideal place to overtake as we're going up the mountain. Not like a clean pass anyway, because you are using as much of the track as you can to maximise the speed. So hopefully they make a move and go off track. pretty much like that. Clearly saw the castles built from earlier and thought they could do much better than that. Yeah. I was actually hoping for that they move over, let us pass, or a door opens and we can just slip our way through. I mean, technically the door opened, we slipped our way through. Just, it was really wide open. 3.1 seconds away from position 8 now, but nicely 6.6 seconds away from the car behind. Issue with that is, I think we're going to be in a world of our own again. Lap 10, we've lost a bit of time away from position 8, and also gained a bit of time from the car behind, as Hasbro is now 8.3 seconds away. Clearly overtaking Jacob, but yeah. This is the problem sometimes where you end up being by yourself for a longer period than you want it to be. Hobo has gone into the pits. Unexpected actually, but they're going to be coming out of the pits in 25 seconds time with a fresh set of soft tyres, I can only presume. But we're going to be 20 seconds ahead, and that is one substantial lead from that car. So position 8 is in the bag unless we hit a wall. Well, Hasbro behind 8.1 seconds away, so we need to make sure that we keep a consistent time. GMS is 9 seconds ahead. I don't think we can find 9 seconds in this time, but anything is possible. Accidents can happen, and we can actually get better. So, as I crash into the wall, I say that, yeah. Absolute typical Flash, spot on driving right there. Thing is, like I say, the hardest part of the GT3 racing is getting on that power at the right time, because the cars are so wound up that getting on that power at the right time is quite difficult. Not only that, I still believe that we should have a better traction control system, a more realistic traction control system, like you do in other titles, because these cars generally need traction control. They're designed for it. You know, it's just really unusual. I've been tempted to try traction control, but it's a hassle turning on and off. You know, it's not as simple as just clicking a button. You know, you have to go into menus and sub-menus, and yeah, things could be made a lot simpler. Or they could just return the tyres to the original size like they were before the last BOP update. Honestly guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you like the slip and slide, or do you prefer the way the GT3 cars were before the last BOP update? 11 seconds away from position 7 now. 7.5 seconds away from Hasbro behind. So we have been losing time to position 7, but also massively gaining time from Hasbro. I'm confused here. I think Hasbro's had a moment as they're now 12 seconds away. 13? Yeah, well, it happens. You know, it's really easy to make a mistake. I mean, this is our final lap now. Rear tyres are just about shot onto minor wear. Front tyres are also actually very close behind that as well. Again, though, we are still by ourselves. We have zero company, no friends to talk to or race against. It's just a case of hot lapping for the final section to see if we can actually get a better lap time without actually hitting a wall. I mean, 206 is not too bad, I don't think. A little bit squirrely on the way out, but controlled. That not so good. Not so good. There's a wall there, Flash. Ruined your lap time. And the face of pure excitement was upon us at that moment. And a wall there as well, Flash. At least we don't go into the gravel castle and knock the castles that had been pre-built over. Coming down the mountain for the final time, the leader has crossed the finish line. So we have 2.5 minutes to get there. It's quite shocking, really. They were 60 seconds ahead. Absolutely insane amount of time ahead of us overall, if you think about it. It really is a lot. But over a 30-minute race, it's not actually that much per lap. Weirdly enough, I do find the GT2 cars a little bit more stable than the GT3, and a little less chaotic as well. Let me know down in the comments below what your experiences are. But from my experience, I don't seem to be bundled as much in GT2s, and the cars do seem to be a little bit more stable. Yeah, 10 seconds away. I can see GMS up ahead as they turn for the final corner. Our turn for the final corner. Do we get fireworks? We do. Crossing that line in position 8. I do wonder what the fastest lap time at this track is, and compared to ours. Position 1 did a 2:03. Position 2 did a 2. 5, 4, 5 seconds off the best lap time.